What's up, football fans? Today we're diving deep into the story of a legend who revolutionized the quarterback position, a man they called Joe Cool. But before he earned that nickname before the Super Bowl rings and countless comebacks, Joe Montana was just a kid from western Pennsylvania with a golden arm and something to prove. The year is 1956, and in the small working-class town Monongahela, just 30 miles south of Pittsburgh, a legend was born. Now, if you know your football history, you know western Pennsylvania is quarterback country. Johnny Unitas, Joe Namath, Dan Marino, these giants of the game all came from this region. But even among these titans, Montana would carve out his own special place in football history. At Ringgold High School in Carroll Township, young Joe was already turning heads. But here's something wild. This future NFL icon wasn't just a football star. He was crushing it in basketball and baseball too. Talk about athletic talent. But it was on the football field where Montana truly found his calling. College scouts were practically camping outside his house. And who could blame them? This kid had something special, that rare combination of arm talent and leadership that you just can't teach. Now, with all these colleges knocking on his door, Montana chose Notre Dame. Why? Because his childhood hero, Terry Hanratty, had played there before becoming a Pittsburgh Steeler. But folks, if you think this is where the fairy tale really takes off, think again. Montana's college career was more like a roller coaster than a victory parade. Get this, his freshman year, didn't play a single snap. Coach's rules. Second year, finally gets some playing time and shows flashes of brilliance with comebacks against North Carolina and Air Force. But then bam, 1976 hits him with a separated shoulder, and he's out for the entire season. Talk about a setback. Here's where the story gets really good. When Montana finally got healthy, he found himself third string on the depth chart. Third string. Can you imagine? One of the greatest quarterbacks of all time sitting behind two other guys? That's what makes this story so special. Because when Montana finally got his shot against Purdue in 1977, he did what he would become famous for. He engineered a comeback. Down 10 points in the fourth quarter? No problem for Joe Cool. The Irish won 31-24. And from that moment on, Notre Dame was unstoppable. They won their final 10 games, claimed the national championship, in Montana. He was just getting started. But let me tell you about his final college game, the 1979 Cotton Bowl. This game, right here, this is where the legend of Joe Cool was truly born. Picture this, Montana's fighting an illness so bad he has to leave the game in the fourth quarter. The Irish are down 34-12 to Houston. Game over, right? Wrong. Montana returns to the field, and in the final 7.5 minutes, he orchestrates 3 touchdown drives. The temperature is below freezing. He's sick as a dog, but none of that matters. Final play of the game, Montana finds Chris Haynes in the end zone. Notre Dame wins 35-34. Are you kidding me? This wasn't just a comeback. This was a statement. Joe Montana was special. Now, you'd think NFL teams would be falling all over themselves to draft this guy, right? Well, hold on to your hats, because Montana slides all the way to the third round of the 1979 draft. The San Francisco 49ers grab him with the 82nd overall pick. But even then, he's not the starter. He's backing up Steve DeBerg, holding for kicks, throwing passes on fake field goals. Talk about paying your dues. But by 1980, Montana starts showing why he's different. Against the New Orleans Saints, he leads the biggest regular season comeback in NFL history, erasing a 35-7 deficit. This was just the appetizer, folks. The main course was about to be served. 1981, the NFC Championship game against the Dallas Cowboys. 6 seconds left, third down, season on the line. Montana rolls right, running out of room, throws what looks like a prayer, and touchdown. Dwight Clark makes the catch, and the 49ers are Super Bowl bound. They go on to win it all, and Montana, he's named Super Bowl MVP. But trust me, this was just the beginning. Now, every great story has its challenges, and Montana faced his share. 1985, a hit to his back leads to surgery. The doctor tells him to quit football. Montana's response? Well, he's back on the field in 9 weeks. 1986, Jim Burt of the Giants nearly takes his head off, giving him a severe concussion. But Joe keeps coming back for more. And then there's the Steve Young situation. Steve is younger, more mobile, and breathing down Montana's neck for the starting job. Pressure's mounting. Coach Bill Walsh is even thinking about trading Montana. But what does Joe Cool do? He responds with the greatest stretch of quarterback play the NFL had ever seen. 1989. Montana puts together a playoff run for the ages. The numbers are absolutely ridiculous. 78.3% completion rate, 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. His passer rating for the playoffs? 146.4. And the cherry on top? He absolutely dismantles John Elway's Broncos in the Super Bowl, throwing for 297 yards and 5 touchdowns. This wasn't just winning, this was artwork. Let's put Montana's achievements in perspective. 4 Super Bowl appearances, 4 victories, 3 Super Bowl MVP awards. In an era when defenders could practically assault quarterbacks, Montana was revolutionizing the position with his precision passing and clutch performances. The nickname Joe Cool wasn't just clever marketing, it was a perfect description of how he played the game. But even legends face crossroads. 1991, elbow surgery sidelines Montana for almost 2 full seasons. Steve Young takes over in San Francisco, and Montana finds himself wearing the unfamiliar colors of the Kansas City Chiefs. But even in his final chapter, Montana showed why he was special. His last great comeback, a Monday Night Football classic against his old rival John Elway. Down 4 points, 75 yards to go, barely any time left. Montana drives the Chiefs down the field and hits Willie Davis for the game-winning touchdown with just 13 seconds left. Even in the twilight of his career, Joe Cool was still Joe Cool. When Montana retired in 1995, he had rewritten the quarterback position's playbook. First ballot Hall of Famer? Obviously. But his impact goes way beyond the numbers. In a sport where pressure can break the strongest athletes, Montana seemed to get better when the stakes were highest. His perfect 4-0 Super Bowl record isn't just a statistic, it's a testament to his greatness. Now in an era dominated by Tom Brady's 7 rings, some might wonder where Montana fits in the all-time hierarchy. But here's the thing, Montana didn't just win games. He changed how the quarterback position was played. He showed that accuracy and timing could be just as devastating as a cannon arm. He proved that coolness under pressure wasn't just a nice bonus, it was an essential trait for greatness. Think about it. From that kid in Western Pennsylvania to the master of the comeback at Notre Dame. From a 3rd-round pick to the king of San Francisco. From a backup to a legend. Montana's journey is the stuff of football fairy tales. But unlike fairy tales, every bit of it is true. So how good was Joe Montana really? Let me put it this way. In a sport where legends are made in the biggest moments, nobody, and I mean nobody, was cooler when it mattered most. The numbers, the comebacks, the Super Bowls, they all tell the same story. Joe Montana wasn't just a great quarterback, he was an artist, and the football field was his canvas. That's all for today. If this deep dive into Joe Montana's legendary career got y'all fired up, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment down below with your favorite Joe Montana moment. Let me know which NFL legend you want to see featured next.